Coming up this week on the OK Bloomer podcast.
Yeah, they're showing student film, Sal. And they said, didn't we do this already? They made They made a video about safe sex where they all stapled condoms to their clothes, which probably also explains why Rhonda Joe is late.
Yeah.
You shouldn't staple condoms. That's the joke.
Right.
You don't want a hole in the con. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't know who you're explaining this to, but
I don't know. I'm looking for another incest joke, okay?
Yeah, just okay.
Don't know about the future. Don't.
They don't care about the future, because they live it in the past. Sal and Curtis are taking all 5 seasons of Blossom to task. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll be weak in the knees. This show's got more range than this on the keys. Only gal in the house, and that's how she goes. One brother was a junkie, and the other one was. Weekly lessons coming fast in the Russo flat. Blossom's teenage girl problems are as big as her hat. So take your opinionations and make them shine. It's the OK Bloomer podcast, and it's about damn time.
Don't know. Don't know.
You're watching the OK Bloomer podcast. I'm Curtis Anderson along with Sal Accardo. Usually we're drinking. Today we're drinking water because we're being lame and I have to go to work. No, I hate this intro. 3, 2, 1. You're watching the OK Bloomer podcast. Curtis Anderson, Sal Accardo. We're ripping through the 3rd season of Blossom. We're seeing what the Russo house can teach us back in 1993, and we're coming up to the end. We have been burning through the 3rd season. We're way more focused. We're sticking to a schedule now that we're on the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, the new home to the OK Bloomer podcast. Shout out Gary Nickel, getting the old shovel.
Shout out.
Digging the podcast up from the grave, up from the depths, bringing it back to life. It's been a wild ride, and I think Phenom's going to drop us with some stats here. We got Phenom on the 1s and 2s in the studio, in the booth there, and I've talked long enough. I'm going to hand it over to you, Sal, and or the Phenom. What do you got for me this week?
Well, we're coming off a great episode last week, written by your boy, the Schmock. You were very excited for that one, so
we talked Disney for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was good times, man. You know a lot about Disney. I know not so much, but I feel like I learned a lot. Yeah. Let's see how they follow it up. I feel like this one is also one of your boys, Jonathan Prince, written and directed by.
It was Goldstein and Prince, wasn't it? Why don't we ask the expert?
Let's do it. Let's throw it over to Phenom. I don't know what I'm talking
episode
about.
20, Student Films. This was written by Josh Goldstein and Jonathan Prince, and also directed by Jonathan Prince. First aired on February 15th, 1993 to 24.4 million viewers. Disney Plus says, the family views the kids' student films. IMDb says, the family gathers to watch student films that were made by the Russo children, and are supposed to have deep meanings. TVDB says, the family gathers to watch the student films they have made through the years.
Spoiler.
And my stat. This is something I've already talked to Curtis about, but Sal, overall, this is the 57th episode, which means this is the halfway point of the series, or of the franchise.
No! Wow.
We did it.
Oh my God.
This is the sound of us flipping the hourglass officially. Congrats.
That's crazy.
Congrats, team.
All right,
Honest.
we did it, guys.
From a
This has been
way
awesome.
to cure our boredom back during COVID lockdowns and to reconnect and an excuse to hang out again, as we did back in 2009, 10, 11, 12 when we worked together, Sal. We came up with this idea to review the Blossom show that we would make fun of all those nights, editing for our local TV station back when we worked together and going, whoa, and singing the theme song. When this popped up on Disney Plus, we had an idea, and we argued about whose idea it was, which also reminds me, we need to get episode 0 up. You got to send me the audio from our, how did we come up with this idea? Because it's missing from the new catalog that Phenom has put together. Yeah, so that was a good segue into that. But we started with audio only, and it was pretty silly, and it died when we both kind of went back to work. And again, shout out Gary Nickel and the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, who told us it was an amazing show.
Shout out to him, man. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't...
No, and he's like, people love that. And we were like, will they? And Apparently they do. So shout out to being the top watched show on the Dufferin Avenue Media Network. I mean, get on the bandwagon early, folks, because we're coming straight at you. I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's probably not the greatest show on just the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, but like of all television history, like Sopranos, then us maybe. Breaking Bad, Sopranos, OK Bloomer. I'm surprised the network hasn't picked us up yet.
That's true.
To be honest.
That's true. Yeah. Agreed. I don't think it's any better than this, but we're halfway through the whole thing. So it's all downhill from here? Is that we're at the peak? Is it?
No. I haven't even begun to peak, Sal.
All right. You are a golden god.
Have you watched season 17 of Always Sunny?
I watched the first few. I haven't caught up yet, but yeah.
The first one I didn't even get through because they were like at that elementary school.
Yeah,
and I don't know that show, and I was lost. I couldn't get into it.
I watched a little bit of that show because I heard good things about it, and it's basically like The Office, like documentary style, set in a school. And then I heard that they were doing a crossover, and the Sunny episode where they showed up came out like 6 months before this one did. So I watched that episode and it wasn't great. And then I watched the Sunny episode, also not great. But everything that I've seen since that episode from season 17 has been, people are saying it's just like classic Sunny's back.
Huh.
Yeah.
I watched episode 2, the one where Frank's in a coma, and I laughed my ass off. I thought that was honestly one of the best episodes they've done. And then, I don't know, 3 and 4, I was struggling. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch them because like I wanted to like them. I wasn't like, season 17, this has been going on too long. It has a new editor. It's got a different pace.
Yeah.
And I haven't wrapped my head around it yet, but it's just, I don't know. And I mean, they look old, and that's fine. We all look old.
Yeah. See, the thing is
16
like
and 17. But
yeah,
that's not it. It's just it's got a different feel to it that I haven't quite figured out.
Right. I think it's just like the show had a real charm to it when it first came out, and it was like obviously low budget, and like the bar, like remember the bar? It used to be so dark in there. It was so like darkly lit, and now it's just like I don't know if they like got a new studio or they got budgets for better lighting, but it's just like it just seems like it's like a set now. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Maybe
but
that's
it's like,
it.
Like it just seems like everything is so well lit. Yeah, it's like the production value. It's like, which is great, which is what you want, but it's like that kind of takes away from the charm of the show.
It feels like they brought in real, like, okay, a sitcom has to be this and look like this and have these cuts and go from like this shot to a close up. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It feels like it's trying to be a real show and it's not working.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, the writing's still there.
The content itself was funny. It just the jokes. It's like remember in The Simpsons where they kind of did it like they were waiting for a laugh track. Like I've gone down many rabbit holes of people explaining why The Simpsons got less funny and the writing style and the pacing. Because there's one season where you can tell the pacing changed, where the writers were like, "It's a sitcom. Here's a joke. You need 2 seconds of nothing where the laugh track would be, but there's no laugh track, so we just got to pause for the laughter and then move on." Where they didn't do that in the first like 5 or 6. It was just like joke, joke, no time to react. It's kind of what's going on with Sunny a little bit.
Okay, that's fair. I got to get into it.
I want them to do 100 seasons. I want them to be senior citizens. Like
I love all those guys. They're all great. And I like everything they do on the side too, all their side projects and where they've now branched out. It's
why they took AP Bio off Canadian Netflix.
Oh my god,
made me mad. I think did it end?
I think it ended. I think it went 4 seasons and then ended.
Was the last No, I think it was season 3 finale. Katie Holmes Day.
Maybe.
Did you see Katie Holmes Day? That was one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen.
Wow.
And it stands alone. You don't have to know anything about the show. You can just watch that from beginning to end, and it is one of the best Christmas episodes of anything I've ever seen, and it's just one of the best overall episodes of TV I've ever seen. The build up and the payoff is so good. When I was in Disney last time, I watched that on US Netflix like 4 times over the week. I was like, this is a masterpiece. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Day.
Cool. Love it. All right, should we get into the episode?
Let's go.
So we get Corel Draw. Joey and Blossom are on the couch. There's sodas and snacks everywhere. It looks like they're getting ready for a movie night. Blossom wants to put goobers in the popcorn. Joey's not letting her. Yeah. Question at the back. Do you have?
Is this your cold open?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is this not the
cold
cold
open? I had no cold open. This happened after the intro, so let's go. We're switching over to your Afghanistani website right now where you're watching these, K.
Well,
so the crack editing team over there was like, where's the cold open?
This is so weird, man. Yeah, so Joey's not letting her put goobers in the popcorn, and then Nick comes running in, like, juggling 2 bags of hot popcorn.
Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
He's going, hot, 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 hot. And then he tells Joey to give Blossom the goobers. But Blossom, you put the goobers in your own popcorn. And that's the end of the cold open. That's all I had.
Yeah, the team over in Afghanistan were like, they had thoughts about that, because on Disney Plus, no cold open, straight into the intro. Phenom, it asks, do you want to skip the intro? And
I do not.
Love it.
So good.
Love it.
I went. Promise me you'll play that at my funeral sometime whenever I go.
Oh my God.
Did he want? I just like, if you're giving a speech, be all sad and be like, I asked if he wanted to donate his extensive collection of 80s toys and Disney memorabilia, and he said,
I do not.
And then point at Sal, who hopefully you maybe you'll just join by Zoom, and then you'll be like,
I'll be doing the Arsenio Hall.
Right, exactly. That's how I expect my funeral to play out. And I want people to tell the truth and tell horrible stories about me. That's what. Oh, he was such a good guy. He never had a bad word about everybody. As if. I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video to play at my funeral and be like, look at all these losers.
I would expect nothing less of you.
You came to my funeral. Wow. Anyway, okay. So are we caught up?
I think so.
So I had the no cold open, but now I'm going to do this part, which was your cold open. Corel Draw to Duck Face Blossom.
Okay.
Joey's on the couch with her. Joey's hogging the candy. Nick runs in with 2 flaming hot bags of popcorn, burning his hands, and he says, Joey, give your sister the goobers. And I'm suddenly reminded how my self-given nickname Kingslayer is slowly catching on. Because that sounded very incestuous. Give your sister the goobers. I also heard another great joke this week. You ready?
Sure.
I knocked on my roommate's door and asked if he was burning candles because the apartment smelled like incest. And he said, do you mean incense? And his sister laughed and said, yeah, do you mean incense? Hashtag Kingslayer. But that's not why I wanted the nicknames, because I almost lost my hand.
Well, the fact that you say that's not why you want the nickname, every time you mention it, you mention incest to go along with it. So I don't know what's real and what's fake here. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Okay? I almost lost my hand.
All right. So then how does everybody show up? Because I get cuts to a next scene after the intro and everybody's in the living room. Tony wasn't there before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I never noticed that. Yeah, it just keeps going. I said, 6 is back this week, thank God. And here comes
6
Tony.
Is there too. She wasn't there.
And they don't want to wait for Rhonda Joe to come because she's, quote, always late. And I said, you might want to get her a pregnancy test then, bro.
Why is he still with her? All he does is bitch about her when she's not there. And then she walks in the room and he's like, like,
dude, look at yourself. You weren't on the Dark Knight yet. You're not bringing a lot to the table there, Anthony. Your girlfriend's hot. Like, I don't know. Whatever.
This show is just a constant demonstration of toxic ass relationships. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. So Rhonda's like, "Oh, what movie are we gonna watch tonight?" And he's like, "Oh, we decided we're gonna watch some student films," and then mutters under his breath, which is considered a war crime in some countries. And if I was Rhonda, I would have turned my ass around and left.
Well, you missed her entrance because he's dragging her for no reason. He's dragging his
Yeah.
hot girlfriend in front of his family for no reason. And then
Yeah.
she shows up, and I said, "Wait, is that Rhonda Jo Applegate or Hillary Banks?" Because she is channeling Hillary Banks this week like you would not believe. Yeah, they're showing student film, Sal. Then I said, "Didn't we do this already?" They made They made a video about safe sex where they all stapled condoms to their clothes, which probably also explains why Rhonda Jo is late.
Yeah.
You shouldn't staple condoms. That's the joke.
Right.
You don't want a hole in the con. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't know who you're explaining this to, but
I don't know. I'm looking for another incest joke, okay?
Yeah, just okay. All right. So Joey's up first. He pops in his VHS. He says it's an action picture. We cut to the screen. There's a tiny spaceship on like a starry backdrop, like going down some fishing wire, which is just...
It's the season 3 finale of Stripped Down with the Ultimate Power Duo.
Yeah, totally. It's I also said it's very Laser Cats from SNL. Like it's the exact same thing. So they have like action figures as the stand-ins of the astronauts. Joey and Tony are doing the voices. And then when it comes to them in a field, they're standing in front of like a porta potty that's like wrapped. It's like wrapped in tinfoil. There's a little sign that says like Steve and Mike's spaceship. I love the low budgetness of this. Again, it reminded me a lot of Laser Cats. Like they must have they channeled the same ideas here of just like low budget space. They like cut to a shot of like the desert, and then you can see like the hand holding the picture up on the side. Like it's just well done. Well done. Good. I loved all this.
So good. Olivia caught up. So for some reason they tell us they're going to watch Joey's, Blossoms, then Sixes, and I'm trying to think of where this is going. So I thought, okay, we're going to be like funny bad with Joey's, good and thought-provoking with Blossoms, and then probably something like sad and telling with Six. And maybe this will be a Six episode where, she's still subconsciously sad about her parents' divorce. I'm like, hey, that's where that's going to land. No, it didn't. Did not go there at all. You mentioned Joey's. It always blows my mind in the old like 90s and 80s sitcoms where they just used licensed toys. Like, I don't think you can do that anymore. I can't just take a G.I. Joe guy and put him on TV without Hasbro getting mad. But those were just G.I. Joe guys from 1993, painted silver. And that warmed my heart.
Awesome.
And then did you catch, they quoted Rocket Man?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like, Mars ain't a place to raise your kids. And he's like, in fact, it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it took me a second. I was like, that's definitely a lyric. And I got there.
Yeah, nice.
I'm really enjoying this. Like Anthony and Joey are acting up a storm, and it's working for me.
It's like, cheesy, but it's supposed to be.
Yes, for sure. And I bet you because they showed this at school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they showed this at school, I bet you Joey's classmates are like, hey, isn't that like you and Blossom's junkie brother that had to come give a speech about how he's not actually a junkie anymore when your sister was running for president?
Yeah. As if there's any sort of continuity on this show.
No. Did he get abducted by aliens? How's your grandpa's new wife, the famous actress? How's that going?
And where's he been at since that happened?
Is your dad still blind from syphilis?
So the Mike and Steve, the space astronauts, have been gone for 21 years. Joey pulls out his old answering machine, and it's Nick's voice with a British accent saying that aliens have destroyed London. And then we get like the title card. I didn't quite get the title.
It said like Aliens 4 Heroes Zero. And I thought that was a very clever way of like not getting sued because they didn't just call it Aliens 4.
Right.
It was like Aliens 4, which should have been the next in line because they had only done 3 aliens, I think, and then Heroes 0. So I didn't know if they were being cute or trying not to get sued, but it worked for me.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Joey Russo film. So then we get like a zoom out of Nick doing that like knife trick. Hit the microphone. He's doing like the knife trick, and then he like stabs it through his hand. And he's like, oh, good thing I'm an android, so I don't feel pain. and they're sitting at the kitchen table trying to figure out how to destroy the aliens. Six comes in wearing a karate uniform and says she's Steven Seagal. And there were some other jokes here. I don't know if you took note of that, but I love how they just like all the action sequences, they cut to action figures for it. So she's like, oh, I'll show you. And then she does like a spin kick with the action figures and they all go flying. And then it cuts back to them like all laying on the floor in the kitchen. Well done.
So Nick is Bishop. Last week we had Nick dressed as Elvis, dressed as Inspector Gadget. This week we have Nick dressed like Spock, dressed like David Copperfield, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
In walks Six, who introduces herself as Steven Seagal. Jenna Von Oy is hilarious here. This is some next level shit, to be honest, right? Like you have these three or four actors playing their Blossom characters, playing other characters, and you could tell it was a fun day on set, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like the fun they are having is coming through. And this is exactly how Six would act and deliver lines to Joey, who she has a crush on. Like it's just an excuse to get up in his face, even though she's Steven Seagal. She's got like her own agenda going on here with Joey, which again comes into play with the next one, or with her short movie. And it's not properly lit. There's shadows everywhere. Love that.
Oh, okay.
Like they're in each other's shadows constantly, and it's done on a crappy camera. And then so she starts kicking everybody's ass, and like you said, it cuts to a close up of G.I. Joes on popsicle sticks, and then we come out of it, and the guys are like, "Oh, falling over." And I wrote, Sal, something brave. This might be my favorite episode so far.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I could feel you were a little hesitant.
Apologize for that.
You were a little hesitant when you started. You were not like, this is a great episode, but I'm loving this. I'm laughing aloud. I'm just watching these actors. Like I said, the fun they're having this day is just coming through my TV.
I will say, when we get an episode like this that's like out of the box, it's either like with this show, it's either really good or really bad. And I feel like this one leaned more towards the good side for me.
I mentioned that later. I said they finally found a way to do an out-of-the-box episode that makes sense.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So they hear a motorbike, and I thought, oh, God, here comes Vinny. But no.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the worst.
Yeah.
They all draw their guns. They've all got guns. Just guns in this sitcom. And I know it's like they're making a home funny movie, but every cast member of Blossom is aiming a giant gun at the door in this scene. Imagine just like channel surfing in 1993, and it's just amazing. And in walks Blossom, and I am dying with her Terminator getup. It's like all shoulder pads. She looks like David Byrne from Talking Heads.
Talking Heads.
It just nothing makes sense, and it's like smoky, and it is just, this is what I strive for, right? Like, you want low budget that punches above its weight.
Right.
And that's what they're doing here. And
it's great. The voice that she did was not great, but other than that, it was fun.
But that's because Blossom's not creative, which we'll get to.
Right.
If Mayim, the actress, did a really good Schwarzenegger,
I guess then it wouldn't
work.
It wouldn't fit. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I love this episode, Sal, okay?
And then
she comes in, she's got two giant guns.
Yeah.
And then Applegate comes in as Ripley.
Yeah, so good. Like, this fits perfectly.
Last week and this week, I'm turning a corner on Applegate.
Okay.
I don't hate her anymore. She's bringing a little bit. And she was so good as Ripley. Same energy.
Forever.
She was, I don't know. It's hard to explain. They're all having so much fun. Yeah. And it bled into their characters having fun, but I know it was them as like the actors having fun, getting to do something, and like she gets to play Ripley.
Yeah.
For some random actress, even if it's in a weird throwaway, like alternate video universe in an episode of Blossom, she looks great as Ripley. Like it's great.
Yeah.
Great casting.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they go into they figure out the bishop is the host. And there's a great thing where like his head doesn't quite line up with his body, and they push the
then you see like
puppet through.
Yeah, it's like a little sock puppet, and then we get like a POV of the sock puppet of like him running around like killing everyone.
Throws 6 this toy 6 in the garbage disposal and turns
the
it on, and
garbage
she
disposal,
spins
yeah.
and gets sucked down.
Yeah. There's like very effects here. Blossom, he kills Blossom over the stove, and then he like sets Tony. Tony goes to save her, and like this, it's just like a pot on the or like a pan on the stove with fire in it, and then Tony sacrifices himself to like save the alien, and then it just cuts to like a giant nuclear explosion. And then it cuts back, and Joey's like crying, like, "Oh, he was my best friend." And then Ripley comes back in, and it's like, all right, I knew this is where this was going. Like they would be the only 2 survivors. And then
he
he's
wrote
like,
it.
Yeah.
Right?
And then he's
like that's the best part.
He's like, "Hey Ripley, remember when you told me that, like, like you wouldn't date me till I was the last man on Earth? Hi, honey, I'm home." And then they
zoom in and
whoa. And then he like winks to the camera, and then right on the screen it just flashes "Don't drink and drive," and I laughed really hard at that.
So good.
Yeah, well done.
Where are we here? Yeah, no, I think you got it. It's pretty much the same as my notes. And I love how this just makes Blossom irate.
Yeah, she's like, everybody's clapping. Like, they're like, "Oh, good job, Joey. Like, he did a pretty good job on that." Blossom called him out over the messaging. And she's like, "You just wrote 'Don't drink and drive' at the end." He's like, "Well, you remembered it." So she says that hers is a little more subtle. She pops in her VHS. It's an art film, and nobody's excited about this. Like, rightfully so.
So good. I love how this flipped. And in this creative space, Joey is good and Blossom can't.
Is not. Yeah.
And oh my God, I have so many thoughts about this later. Right? And when you're showing large groups video projects, you got to go for comedy. Everybody always tries to make drama, and I'm guilty of it too. You're like, this is going to be hard hitting, but in a giant space of people watching your videos, they want to laugh, they don't want to be sad, and anybody entering any sort of video competition has to know that. Like, that's the rule number one. That's
the only problem with that is like if your video's not funny.
Sure.
Like if you're going over the top for laughs and like there's just no laughs in it, like then,
But in a large group setting like this,
yeah, I agree.
Drama is not going to land. Trying to make people sad and cry, that is not what you want. That's like a one-on-one watching it by yourself thing. In a large group where you're trying to have a good night, going for something serious and tugging on the heartstrings never works. It always fails.
Yeah. I mean, whatever Blossom was going for here did not work. I didn't really
take
notes. It's all black and white shots. She's doing a voiceover in Spanish. They're very artsy shots. There's quick cuts. I've said it was too hard to follow.
Phenom, thoughts on this? We watched this one too.
Yeah, this was the second episode of Blossom I watched.
Wow, okay.
I enjoyed this episode as well. I think this was better than the Disneyland one.
I would agree.
Wow, all right.
Yeah. There's a monkey in a graveyard. There's Anthony juggling. They're all walking in single file.
There's an empty carousel, and then there's like one horse with 6 or someone on it that goes by.
They do a single file walk with umbrellas, and it's not raining, and they're all like acting sad. And you can tell they're like trying not to laugh. And again, just
they walk past the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, that was like, Grim Reaper at the end.
Yeah, I think it's someone riding one of those like supermarket horses, and it's got to be some sort of presidential mask.
Yeah, I think that was Nick. It looked like Nick to me. Oh, okay, maybe, yeah. All
right.
Yeah,
yeah. So it didn't look like Nixon, but wasn't Nixon the guy that does this? This wasn't the guy on the horse doing that. It's a shot at someone.
Yeah.
I wrote, this episode is a masterpiece, Sal.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was called The Day of the Dead, and it ends with everyone in unison going, "I didn't understand it." And Blossom, true to someone who would make a movie like this, goes, "Well, I'm glad you didn't. You're not supposed to understand it." Like, I love how she is this person. Right?
Yeah.
So it's so good. And she's like, "What did you think, Dad?" And he's trying to like not break his daughter's heart. He's like, "Oh, it was very esoteric and ethereal."
Yeah, he starts using Starts
And
using
Blossom
big
goes, well,
words.
do you want to watch it again? They're like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
So
And then there's like a meta fourth wall joke here where he's like, all right, now a word from our sponsors. And then Joey's like, oh, I didn't know there was commercials. And he's like, no, that's just what people say when they have to go to the bathroom. He's like, all right, well, when he's done with the sponsors, I gotta go too. And then it's like actually goes to commercial break here.
Normally they would drop that joke, like fumble it, and it wouldn't be funny. But it worked this week.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. Totally.
And then so we come back and they're complaining about movie theaters and how the floors are always sticky. And then Anthony, like, what's with this guy? He just stands up and he's like, I hate how fucking women never know what's going on. Always asking questions. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Like, how the do I know? Like, are you okay there, bud? Like, what is
I wrote for this. I was like, just break up with Rhonda, man. Like, just break up with her. Yeah, and then about the movie theater thing, Nick is like, oh, I would love to never set foot in movie theaters again. And I was like, welcome to 2025.
You got your wish, Nick Russo.
Pretty much dead. Rhonda mentions all the great female directors, and with that, it's Six's turn. She's up.
Six and Rhonda Joe interacting. I like that.
Yeah.
Should have an episode of just those two going on like a Thelma and Louise adventure.
Right. So Six says that she came up with a thriller. And Joey's into it. He wants to know what happens. And she's like, you were in it. And he was like, oh, yeah. So she pops in her VHS, The Hand That Chokes the Baby.
Nobody vets these episodes, Sal. We say it every week. That just put this over the top. Like, there it is. There's the last box that needed to be checked. Something super inappropriate that would have been killed immediately by today's standards. The Hand That Chokes the Baby.
Yeah. Yeah, really stood out. Six and Joey are in the living room as parents, and then they're
married because Six wrote this.
Yeah, of course. And then they keep doing a close-up of the baby, and it's just a close-up of Tony's head, like, wrapped in a towel, which is really funny. The doorbell rings. It's the new nanny. It's Blossom. She's perfect in every way. Joey's name is Peter Paul, and his wife's name is Mary.
I laughed aloud at that. I hated myself for laughing so hard.
There's tense music as Blossom comes in. She's pulling all sorts of like dangerous out of her bag.
Rope and handcuffs and rat poison.
Yeah. And then there's a joke. I love your fish sticks. She's like, oh, Miss Paul, I love your fish sticks. I don't get it.
I didn't get that either.
She worked at the Bates Motel and then had a job on Elm Street, but it was a real nightmare.
I'll let that slide.
Yeah, she just grabs the baby from Six and starts walking upstairs. Tony starts freaking out. Pulls up at Tony.
There's a great cutaway where they're like, she looks great. And then it cuts Tony as the baby. He's like,
yeah.
And that right there was something we would have done. That edit, that cutaway is something we would have done at 3 a.m. in the editing suite of Shaw 100%. TV in 2011. We're like, no, this is fucking funny.
Yeah, so then the parents wonder if there's something odd about the nanny, and then Blossom comes back downstairs. She goes, well, the baby couldn't sleep. I'm going to take it for a walk. Have a nice life. And then they like start arguing over the baby, and Six grabs the baby, and they're like pulling
like
it
a tug of war with its head and feet.
Yeah. And then it keeps cutting to Tony being like, nah. Like, yeah. So
and then
funny.
Even this is great. So Joey comes and he's like, okay, we'll settle this. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. And I think Blossom says 3 and 6 says 7. He goes, well, it was 11, so my wife wins.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, oh, she's closer.
I don't even know why that was so funny.
Yeah. And then Nick comes to the door, and is he the milkman? I don't know.
He's like the diaper pickup guy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And then he recognizes Blossom as the crazy nanny. So then Joey just shoots her.
And she has an amazing death scene.
Yeah, it's like so long and
crumples and does like amazing.
Yeah. And then they're like all relieved. And then it turns out she's not dead. They like turn around and they start having like a side conversation. And then she like gets up off the ground behind them and like they're still talking. And then Six just like points the gun behind her head and just shoots her again.
And she has a great death scene a second time. Like, I love how Mayim crumples after she gets fake shot. Like, it's really good.
And then they all just look into the camera and laugh. And then we get another close up of Tony's face, and he just does like the that's all, folks.
Yeah.
Fade to black.
Could have done without that, but whatever.
Yeah. All right.
We're still doing great. Yeah. Everyone claps for that movie, and Anthony goes, "What was the lesson?" And Six goes, "Always check references."
Yeah.
Then Nick has a surprise. Anthony made one back when he was in high school. And I feel like this is going to be like a Pocahontas from The Simpsons, right? It's going to be really sad about addiction, but again, it is not. I'm just waiting for like the shoe to drop, you know?
Right.
I feel like we can't, because we're not allowed to have nice things on Blossom, right? So they've got all this goodwill. Everybody's laughing. They're gonna screw it up somehow. So is it Anthony's sad video that's going to do it?
Yeah, but that's kind of my gripe with this episode, is that it doesn't really happen, or when it does, it's not like it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of in a random way.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really excited for Tony's movie because he has no memory of it, obviously, because he was in high school.
And I missed this joke when I watched it the first time, but then when I watched it a second time with Phenom, I got it. Because he doesn't remember being in this class. He doesn't remember being in high school. And then he goes, "Oh, actually, you know what? I kind of remember rolling." And Rhonda Joe goes, "Like the camera?" And he goes, "No." And at first I was like, "Oh, he's high as f***, and he's just like rolling. Like on the grass," but no, rolling papers.
He's rolling grass is what he's doing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So we get Russo Vision Pictures presents When Boy Meets Girl, and then it's like a whole bunch of credits coming up, just with Tony's name and like written in different ways, played to Mozart music.
And we see Scumbag Anthony. We finally see addict Scumbag Anthony.
This part, like this one, really made me laugh. So it's like shot outside on legitimate.
Phenom busting a gut, like literally laughing aloud, remembering this part, and he's just dumb.
Yeah, he's just like walking up, like strutting up to this girl. It's on a legitimate street corner too, which is like amazing. And then he walks up to a girl. He goes, "Hey, nice to meet you." She goes, "You too." The end. More credits, and I just right here was when I just like keeled over laughing. I was laughing so hard at this. That one really got me. It really got me.
There has been no missteps.
No.
They were tiny in this episode, Sal.
Yeah. So it cuts back and Tony's the only one clapping. We learned that apparently all these films had budgets. So the school was giving them money to shoot these because Tony blew all of his on dope. And then is this where the other shoe is supposed to drop here? Because it's like Rhonda starts getting jealous about the girl in the video that was in the video for 1 second. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're gonna fight." They all bail, and then Joey just like sprawls out on the couch, like wanting to see what happens.
That was a misstep, but they had to get everyone out of the room, I guess. I don't know.
But like she's upset with him, like, "Oh, did you like this girl? Like, what was going on? You didn't get mad a week ago when they were at Disney World and he was legit flirting with a girl at the box office."
She didn't get mad like 10 episodes ago when his female friend, like fell off the wagon and took a bunch of drugs, and he had her up in his room, and she was like, "Oh, that's good. Good on you."
I thought this was so dumb.
It was dumb, but they were like, "Whatever. We need to get everyone out because
but
Joey has to have a little nap and a little dream, Sal." I'm still laughing.
So Joey is like, he's playing with the action figures at first. He's like, "What would our next adventure be?" He's like, "I bet we'd be in like a super cool music video together." And then he just like lays down, falls asleep within 2 seconds, and we get the dream sequence. And it cuts to a real music video. And I don't know if this was on your version or just mine, but the clip was this from Much Music?
Like, did it have a Much Music thing?
It had the Much Music logo in the corner.
Ours did not have that.
And then it had like the "Nothing Can Fix My Love" or "Nothing My Love Can't Fix."
It had like a title
by Joey Lawrence, and it was like a full music video.
You got to screenshot that. No, we didn't have that.
Oh my god!
It was just the full music video with no title.
It had the old school like Much Music M on the screen, and I was like, "There's no way they showed this in the actual show."
Who is working this hard?
I have no idea, man.
In Iraq, getting these on your sketchy website.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Well, I wonder if the original had it and then Disney Plus scrubbed it at some point.
Maybe.
No, but like, they wouldn't have much music. They would have MTV.
They would have had MTV or
right,
something.
right.
But
That's
it had
so
like
weird.
it had the legit Much Music M in the corner. I was like, holy man, like this is something else. And I was
wonder
this
if
part
whoever was uploading these to whatever website you had like a prior pre Disney Plus version, probably. Maybe they were like cut up incorrectly on like a DVD or VHS release.
Yeah. But I thought it was weird because it actually said Joey Lawrence on the title, like as the artist. I was like, oh, that's weird because like you'd think it would say Joey Russo, but.
And we always wonder, we talk for 57, 58 episodes now, why Joey Lawrence didn't get his break and become a huge star. This
is another. What did you think of this? I was so into this.
I was I remember seeing this on rotation.
I've never seen this before. I was
really?
like, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's a legit music video.
Yeah, I
mean,
figured
it's aged poorly, but this is how every single music video in 1993 looked like.
Right. But to me, it just felt like they were just filling time here at the end because it was like, I don't know, it just seems so out of place.
For sure, but
and then SNL made fun of this exact scenario back in the day when Darlene from Roseanne hosted, and they did like a Blossom parody of like Blossom kept getting in trouble.
Oh yeah,
well, they kind of, because like at the end they were like, yeah, at the end they were like, and now I know the show's called Blossom, but we're gonna throw to a music video by Joey Lawrence, and then it just like cut to Mike Myers as Joey Lawrence.
Whoa, that was his song. It was called Whoa. Yeah. I do remember that, and it's funny you mentioned that because looking back,
they actually did it in the show.
The most of my Blossom knowledge comes from that SNL parody.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, for sure.
But they actually did it on the show, and I was kind of surprised by that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I wrote, this is the official Joey Lawrence video. This whole episode was set up to prop up this debut music video.
100%.
I said, this isn't Joey Lawrence's Tatiana Ali moment. This is like Tati Ali had a Joey Lawrence moment, right?
Right.
Like this isn't even subtle. This is the entire music video from start to finish.
Yeah.
You thought she was catchy, hey?
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Upon first listen, that's incredible. Like I said, I've seen this music video dozens of times because I used to just watch music.
I mean, it's entirely possible I may have in 1993, but just, you know.
And also, just to prop up my weird rant from a couple weeks ago, I'm looking for it now in everything. Here we have cutaway scenes of girls doing the splits on jungle gyms and spinning in circles and doing handstands and doing backflips. Joey Lawrence just standing there.
Just standing there. That's all he needed to do.
I mean, he runs down the beach and catches a football in a Saskatchewan Roughriders jersey at one point, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, I think it was man. Whoa!
Jesus. I think it was an Eagles jersey, but yeah, because he's wearing a Phillies hat too, so I'm assuming that's where he's from.
The Rough Riders jersey, so
okay.
I don't even care. It's hilarious. I'm not gonna even pretend to have any horses in that race. I hate all football.
All right, he is from Philly. I just looked it up.
No, totally. Then.
Yeah, because he's wearing a Phillies baseball cap in the video as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally makes sense. But yeah, Rough Riders, same colors.
There was one 3-second shot where he was like had his back against the brick wall and he has hands above his head, and this girl was like dancing with her face down by his crotch. It was very alarming.
I didn't even take notes. I just sat there in awe, being like,
they kept going back to the girls spinning on like there was like a bar, in like a playground, and then they were just like spinning. They loved that shot. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was 1993.
It just again it felt like what were they doing here? Was it like
this was his launching point?
Oh, I mean, it must have been, but was it also like we just need to fill 4 minutes at the end of the episode? Because I remember like after they had done the 3 movies before they got to Tony's as a surprise, I was like, there's 10 minutes left in this episode. Like, what's going to happen here?
That's why I thought we were getting some big lesson.
Yeah.
That was coming our way. That was going to...
Instead, we got this.
No, I feel like this was some sort of contractual, we're going to write an episode that gives us an excuse
Right.
to play this music video. And maybe that's why it worked so well, because they didn't overthink it. Maybe
Yeah, but even so, it just
maybe
felt
Rio
very
is just so
crammed
hands
in
off
there.
and was
It
like, I don't care, let's get this kid famous. Write whatever
Yeah.
you want, and
Yeah.
just make sure it makes sense when we go to this like music video. I thought
it
this
was
episode
something, man.
great.
It was something. It was something. So yeah, after the music video ends, it just Carell draws back to Joey asleep on the couch, and that's the end of the episode. I'm glad to hear that you loved it, man. I'm
This
glad
was my
to hear
favorite
that this
episode of Blossom so far, Sal.
Wow, that's
They found a way to do
that's-
something silly that stood alone, didn't change the course of the show, so they could never talk about it again.
right. Fair enough. I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite episode is so far, but I mean, this was a good episode. I have
For
nothing
times
against it.
I've laughed and
Yeah.
felt the enjoyment of the cast coming through, this one was
It really did.
untouchable.
It really did stand out in this one for sure. And also, maybe they like blew their budget on going to Disneyland in the last one because this one just took place all in the living room as well. Which is
Yeah, for sure. I will say though, when there was 5 minutes left, I was like, oh god, Buzz is gonna come downstairs and be like, I got one, and put
I
in
got
the
a home
tape.
movie for you.
And it was all like him walking around the mall, creeping on women with like a VHS, like voyeurism shots. Like he's got a camera
in dressing rooms and
camera on his shoe, and he's like putting it under skirts. Look at the dollar on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if Buzz was around, that's exactly what would have happened. Oh God. We haven't seen Buzz in a while.
His name
He's
is
probably,
still in the credits though.
Yeah, he's probably working with his divorce lawyers. He's very busy.
We go to credits, and the first title page says Joey Lawrence video provided courtesy of Impact Records, MCA Records. I felt like the show was evolving here, honestly. I'm not being sarcastic.
Wow.
It was fun and funny, and like we're pushing Joey Lawrence. We get it. We've got this future A-lister on our hands, and people are going to point back to this show and this moment as like his breakout. And I don't know how the wheels came off. Maybe we'll see. But
that's huge, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's your takeaway. That's very interesting. All right, man. Do you have any lessons for the week? Let's do it.
Everyone in 2025 is so scared of AI. And this right here, this 1993 episode of Blossom, perfectly shows why we're going to be okay. Here's the thing about AI. It's created and monitored by nerds. Nerds are the most uncreative people in the world. So what's happening is AI is just endlessly fluffing nerds. They're nerds fluffing nerds. And I'm all for it. Because what's going to happen? We're going to get so used to mediocrity that someone is going to come with an original idea and it's going to knock the world on its ass. I mean, this is not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But creativity is going to be the death of the AI crap we're currently being fed. And I love how that came out in this episode. Joey is always the loser. Joey is always behind Blossom. Joey can never get anything going because he's not book smart. But in the creative environment, he flourishes because he gets it. Blossom fails in the creative environment, and nerds are always going to fail in the creative environment. So I don't care how good AI gets, it's run by nerds, and it's going to fail. And again, we're going to see that one day. And
wow.
Yeah.
That's a deep takeaway, man.
It's so true, though.
I mean,
so I'm all for AI. Let's use AI for everything starting tomorrow. Let's just let it tank the arts so it can regrow. I'm gonna be a fucking winner in this, Sal. I'm playing the long game.
Wow, it's an interesting take on it for sure. With all the pushback.
Yeah. Blossom couldn't do shit in the creative realm.
Good for
he
you,
tried
man.
To be smart, and it failed.
That really,
Joey just was Joey, and it was a home
run. Really gave me something else to think about here. Learning lessons all over the place, man. Good lesson today. Yeah. Pit characters. All I have is Susan Burrell as Girl, and I don't know where she would have came in this episode.
I was gonna say there was no one else in the episode.
I don't know if it was the girl in the music video. I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's what I got.
I can't think of a single extra in any of the skits.
Yeah, it was all the cast, right? So
that's also what made it great.
Yeah.
They weren't like, hey, we got access to Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell for 5 minutes and we don't know what to do with him, so here's a side plot that makes no sense and we're never going to talk about again. And
right.
I don't know. It was just these actors having fun. And I felt like they didn't have like the shadow of Rio watching over them or something, because
Rio was on vacation that week, so they really got to
I feel like we're going to have the worst episode ever, because he's got to come back now and reel it in. That's usually what happens.
He gave Jonathan Schmock and Goldstein and Prince like 2 episodes in a row, so he's got to come back and he's got to come back and crack the whip, right?
The opening shot of next week's episode is just going to be like 20 seconds locked off on cleavage. While
Judith the Allison's
Pretty Little
baby
Angel
daddy.
Eyes from 1957 plays.
Judith the Allison's baby daddy's coming back.
Back to normal. Back on track. I'm Don Rio.
It's a Buzz episode. The Adventures of Buzz.
Halfway.
All right, man.
The best episode. Look at that. Maybe it's all smooth sailing. It's gonna just go here on.
Next episode is not a Don Rio one. It's a Brenda Hampton one.
Oh. Okay. Cool. What's it called?
Next week, season 3, episode 21, All Dressed Up.
Was Brenda Hampton the one dating that actor from 2 weeks ago?
No, that was Judith D. Allison.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So she's fine. The Judith?
No,
Allie?
she's not fine. Brenda's fine.
Brenda. I can't get it.
All right.
Girl,
together,
chicks,
Anderson.
blend together. Buzz.
All right, man. We're in the home stretch of season 3 here.
I can't wait.
All right.
Then we got big plans for season 4.
Oh, do we ever? We're getting there. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Hey, Phenom clocked it last night. What does the future hold for us, Phenom? We do one a week. We want to let this cat out of the bag.
If we do one a week, then we're on track to finish the series sometime late September, early October 2026.
Wow.
I can see that on the horizon. Like that
seems so far away. What are you talking
only
about?
one more year, Sal. I thought we'd be doing this forever.
Really?
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Don't